Peace, y'all. Rob Blackstorm here. Just wanted to chop it up with y'all real quick. I'm driving, so I won't be looking at the camera all the time, but I will be sometime. I think the way I have the camera, you can pretty much see what I'm doing anyway, or see my face. But the reason I'm doing this video is I've recently watched a conspiracy video about Nipsey Hussle. Now, I'm very far removed from conspiracy videos or conspiracy days. I've been studying spirituality, conspiracies, UFOs, different covert groups, illuminated handshakes or handshakes that are part of the secret society, skulls and bones, things like that. And, the thing about when I was really, and again, this is from 1996, right? 1996, I've been studying this, right? So that's over 20 years now. And the thing about conspiracies is this, and I've said this in my other video with Nipsey, but the thing about conspiracies is it makes you very fearful about what's happening or what's going to happen. It makes you very fearful. And because, even this dude's video, right? I was watching, he was like, yeah, it's a 3133 gematria ritual, and Lauren London's first movie was on March 31st, 5 years ago, and she's the one who did it. But he never explained what the 3113 meant, what was the ritual designed to do, what was the focus of the ritual. All he said was, yeah, and yeah, there's going to be a race war, so be prepared. Like, that's an extreme jump from there being a this 3-1-1-3 ritual, then something simply, that's an extreme jump from going from the 3-1-1-3 ritual to it's going to be a race war, because of this ritual. And buy your food and stockpile your stuff. And I've been reading about this stuff since I read Behold the Pale Horse. I believe I read Behold the Pale Horse in 1998 by William Cooper. And the book was like mind-blowing to me. The first reason is because of the first chapter. In the first chapter, Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars was very intriguing, still is. And the reason it was intriguing, because it showed how, shows how the government, or the shadow government, right, uses people or uses human resources in order to get money, and controls these human resources and manipulates these human resources in order for financial gain, and more so than financial gain, for profit. I remember watching House of Cards, season 3, I believe it was. I believe it was season 3. And they had this black man character, Remy. And the character played by the president, he recently got in trouble. I'm forgetting his name right now, but I could see him. But the character that played the president in House of Cards, he was he kept saying, Remy, I'll give you money. He kept saying, Remy, I'll give you money. So everything that he wanted Remy to do, which was the black character, and I forgot his name, the black character, but he played in the Green Book. He was Copperhead in Luke Cage, Mashar Ali. So he was give me 1 second, y'all. I'm trying to find parking, but I'm gonna sit right here for a second so I don't crash and shit. And I shouldn't even put that into the universe. But Mashar Ali, right? So he was in the Green Book. He was in, all these other movies, and I had an idea with him in it. I don't know what it was, but so let me skip it. But the Green Book, right? I mean, not the Green Book, but Nipsey and these conspiracies. it's safe to say that when you're scared, you do not function at an optimal IQ level. There's scientific studies that show that when you are stressed, when you are angry, when you are upset, when your blood pressure raises and you go into fight or flight mode, because that's what happens when you get angry. Even if you just get angry at seeing something on the internet, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, when you're angry about it, your body goes into fight and flight mode, even though you're sitting down and relaxing. So when he said that it's going to be a race war, and he went from 3113, I'm like, and then he's blaming the death on Lauren London because her father's Jewish. Okay. Now, oh, check this out. Bikers in the Bronx. Look at that. It's fire. See the bikers? These New York streets. All right, but anyway. So, yeah, so we're dealing with a situation where he's blaming Lauren London. And again, I'm not here to knock the video. I'm not knocking anybody that's into conspiracies. But again, I've been doing this conspiracy thing and researching this conspiracy thing for a long time. And again, when I read Behold the Pale Horse, let me go back to that. When I read Behold the Pale Horse, they were talking about the money and how money's moved and how they use people as human resources. Again, now, and the second half of the book was about aliens. It was about alien abduction. It was about aliens visiting the planet. It was about spaceships. It was about, all sorts of conspiracies, right? So I went hard to work to look through these conspiracies, right? This is prior to the internet, the internet was around, but it wasn't. Black people were late to the internet. If you do the history, we were late to the internet. White people have been ahead of the internet, and this is most likely because they had more resources at the time, But I was looking and searching and looking and searching and trying to find correlations to these concepts that William Cooper had in the book Behold the Pale Horse. Then I started reading New World Order. I forgot the author. The Unseen Hand. And all these different things that were about conspiracies and what the government's doing, what the government's not doing. And all it did was put me in a state of fear. All it did was make me nervous. All it did was put me in fight or flight. And I discovered that it didn't matter what the conspiracy was. It didn't matter what the situation was. It didn't matter that if there were aliens visiting here, or if they were poisoning the water, or if they were putting fluoride in the toothpaste. And I don't want to say it doesn't matter, like it's not important, or, these things. But what's ultimately the most important is if you do learn about a conspiracy, for instance, I think Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, certainly conspiracies around that time. I think Michael Jackson and I think Prince died in conspiracy. But there's also reasons why I believe these things happen. If you study astrology and you look at the dates, like when Prince died, right? And when Prince died, there was also a celebration of the Queen of England. The Queen of England's color on that same day that Prince died, the color or theme that she was using for her 90th birthday, I believe it was her 90th birthday celebration, was purple. You can look that up too. It was purple. So there's sense. Michael Jackson, if you look at the astrology of when he died, it makes sense that, Whitney Houston, if you look at the astrology, because when these things happen or when these famous people get killed, it's all about energy. Like, it's all about taking the spirit. It's all about harnessing the spirit of that person and using the energy of that spirit to further their own goals. That's it. It's not this deep. that people go into, like, oh yeah, they're going to send ghosts, and they're going to, send demons upon the earth, and these reptilians or these shapeshifters. And it's like, if you believe that, cool. Again, I'm not knocking anybody who believes that, or who believes in conspiracies, but again, Michael Jackson and Prince died, again, I believe, through conspiracy. And there's astrology, and there's certain themes that verify that, right? But Nip, I don't see anything like that. I don't see any correspondences with, the moon, the stars, why it would need to happen. As myself, being tall, being in New York City, being somewhat charismatic, I have received a lot of hate, from people at different points in my life. And I actually got shot at when I was 17 because I beat a dude up in the basketball court, and a dude that was fucking with me. I wasn't even fucking with him, he was fucking with me. And I got shot at. And once I got shot at, it was like, if I died, it wasn't because of a government issue. It wasn't because I was a threat to the government. It was the nigga was mad because I embarrassed him on the basketball court in front of his friends. Dudes that hated on me and still hate on me. Even at where I work now, there's dudes that hate on me. And it's cool. Like, I'm used to it now. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to being hated on. That's what it is. That's what it is when you command a certain amount of respect. You carry yourself a certain way, and you display certain characteristics that are not the norm. You're going to get hated on. That's just what the process is. In fact, I was talking to my daughter, and I was this weekend, and I was telling her to be bold. I seen her. We went to a show, and I seen her like half put her hand up. Instead of raising her hand fully, she half put her hand up. Then we were ordering food, and I saw her like talk real quiet when she was ordering food. So I had to tell her, like, speak up, be bold. And I don't know. I told her, I said they hated on everybody. They hated on Jesus. And when I told her something about me telling her they hated on Jesus, it resonated with her. And even though she knows I don't believe in Jesus, I'm not a Christian. My mom has taken her, to Kingdom Hall because she's a Jehovah's Witness. My mom, which is the equivalent of church for a Christian, my mom is taking a place, so she has an understanding of spirituality. And then she comes from me, so she's going to be spiritual. It's in her DNA. But I had to tell her, like, yo, they hated on Jesus. And once I told her that, she developed a new confidence. I could see it in her face. I could see it in her physical expression, her body language. So, again, I'm not here to knock anybody who's into conspiracies. I'm not here to say that his death wasn't in a conspiracy. That's not my place. My place is to say, okay, if it was a conspiracy, and if it was which is what conspiracies are for, to gather energy. It's a vamping. It's vampire. It's vampire because energy is vamping because energy doesn't die. It just changes shape. It just changes shape or form. So they're vamping, literally vamping the energy. When you do rituals, right? When you do rituals, if you use blood, if you use candles, right? And you do ritual, if you're into the esoterics of spirituality, you get certain herbs. What you're doing is the same thing. You're cutting chickens, right? You're casting spells. What you're doing is the same thing. You're basically getting energy. You praise to Oshun, you praise to Obatala, you deal with Yemaya, Orset, Heru. I deal with Egyptian deities primarily, but most people deal with Oshun from when I see Obatala and things like that. And if you're dealing with those energies, what you're doing is the same thing that Illuminati, or the same thing that, and I don't even like saying Illuminati, because Illuminati is like, it just means the illuminated. Like, it's not really that deep. And maybe I'm saying that because I've been doing this and studying this for so long. But honestly, man, these people are just white people who know traditional African magic. That's all. Washington, D.C. is shaped like Egypt for a reason. Look it up. It's shaped like Egypt. Washington, D.C. was designed to be the Memphis, which is a temple in ancient Kemet or ancient Egypt, was designed to be the Memphis of the West. You understand? And goddamn, using our spiritual technology, isn't America powerful as a motherfucker? Isn't America powerful as a motherfucker using our spirituality? The monument is a Tekken. You see them shits all over Egypt. There's one here in New York, right across from the Met. In the Met, there is an Egyptian temple inside the Met. So when they have the Met Gala, they have access to those energies so that they could propel people and use those energies to implement new fashion styles. It's all about control. Now, let me get back to Remy. So every time, yes, let me get back to that. So Mashar Ali, he played Remy, right? In House of Cards. He played in the Green Book. He played Copperhead in Luke Cage. So but in House of Cards particularly, every time the president character, and I don't know why I can see him right now. I don't know why I forget his name, but he did a damn good job. He just got, caught up on some charges where he was, sleeping with kids or whatever. I don't know what he was doing, but he got caught up on some charges. But anyway, every time him as the president, Mashar Ali was kind of like a what would you call it? He was kind of like a man for hire. He would do little odd jobs. He knew how to rig things. He knew how to influence people. He was kind of like a covert operative that worked with the president. But he was like a black operative. He worked with the president, but he would work for anybody, the highest bidder, or the person that he saw was really about it. He would work with them. And every time he came to Remy, he was like, "Yo, Remy, I'll pay you this. Remy, I'll double your pay. Remy, I'll triple your pay." Right? And there was one point where Mashar Ali was like, "I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not about the money. Like, it's about the principle. Like, I don't want your money." You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, the goal of these societies and the goal of these, and I'm going to do something soon where I'm going to break down the original, the first, I'm going to break down the first apron that you get as an initiate into Freemasonry. Because a lot of people say the Illuminati, but the Illuminati is basically Freemasonry. It was started from the Knights Templar and spread, and these people were just trying to preserve ancient Egyptian knowledge, ancient Cometian knowledge, ancient magician, ancient magic. And people will say, "Oh, well, magic isn't real." All right, magic isn't real. So then why do you believe in a conspiracy? Why do you believe they're killing these people? Well, they're killing these people to stop us from growing. Well, nobody can stop you but you. Nobody can stop you from you. And this is the problem when especially black people, we have the mindset of a group. We think as a group. We think us, we. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm black as hell. I love black people. I love black women. I love black men. I love black culture. I love it. I'm so happy to be black. But me personally, I can't bond with someone that is not doing anything with their life. I can't bond with somebody just because they're black and I know that they're hating on me. I can't bond with somebody just because they're black and I know they know nothing about being black. They don't love themselves. They don't love their blackness. I can't bond with someone who's black and doesn't really like black people and is a house nigga or Uncle Tom. Like, I can't bond with those. I can't bond with somebody who's black and speaks Spanish and hates me just because they speak Spanish, even though when they look in the mirror, they black ass is black. So we have to stop thinking in groups. We have to stop thinking that all black people have to be saved. It was in the movie 300, it was only 300 men, 300 Spartans that came to fight. That's it. Everybody else was home chilling. You know what I'm saying? Check the movie. 300 men, 300 of the best men went to fight when they started a movement. And that's how it is. It's never a whole group. It's never a whole group of white people that, it's not a whole group of white people that conquered Israel. It was a few select Jews. And then the Jews moved to Israel, or conquered Palestine, I should say. Right? So the conspiracy is the biggest distraction in the world. The conspiracy is, for the most part, a waste of energy. Now, if you know the conspiracy is happening and you know this person was killed unjustly, then you should be doing what the Illuminati, what the Bilderberg Group, what the Council of Foreign Relations, and what all these esoteric cults do. And that's harnessing the energy for your benefit. That's harnessing the energy to use to maximize yourself. That's harnessing the energy of these sacrifices, if they are sacrifices, to benefit yourself. Again, it's the same thing you do when you're doing herbal magic, when you're doing candle magic, when you're doing blood magic, when you're doing animal sacrifices. You are harnessing the energy of that particular candle, that particular chicken, you're harnessing the energy to use it for yourself. Even if you're worshiping Oshun, Obatala, your Heru, or Set, Isis, whatever you're doing, you're harnessing that energy to use for your own personal development and self-mastery. And that's what the path's about. And the reason, honestly, a lot of these things are kept secret from the masses is because if the masses got a hold of the magic that's in the Vatican, shit would be chaos. Chaos. These chicks got a little bit of magic, right? And again, I'm not trying to shit on women, but I'll say guys and girls got a little bit of magic, right? And what you see them want to do mostly, they want to get money and they want to get love. No personal development. Most people are not into doing magic for personal development and personal enhancement. Most people are doing magic for money and love. And if they fall out of love, they want to hex somebody or bind them. And if they're broke and struggling, they want to light a candle. Forget doing the magic to harness a mentality so that you always get money, so that you know you're always abundant. Forget harnessing, getting a pink candle, putting certain herbs in there, and developing your own self-love so you can magnetically attract that love, because we are all magnetic beings. We're all magnetic beings. You have a magnetic field, just like the earth has a magnetic field, and the magnetic field comes from your heart. This is your magnetic field. This gives you a frequency. When your heart rate is up, your brain waves change. Your frequency of your body changes. You go from alpha to delta real fast, right? And those are different brain waves. So, in closing, again, I'm not knocking anybody for conspiracy theories, for conspiracy thinking, for understanding that, people do get taken out, that are trying to be leaders. People do get taken out that are trying to do good things. People do get taken out that are making moves. They just blew up an airplane full of Nigerian officials. That's a conspiracy. That's a conspiracy. A plane just all of a sudden blows up with Nigerian officials? Nah, that's a conspiracy. That's real. But then again, those Nigerian officials are now ancestors. They're ancestors now, right? So if you understand who these Nigerian officials are, guess what? You can communicate with them. You can start harnessing their energy and using it for your own personal development. And of course, there's things you have to do, such as diet, such as rest, binaural beats, meditation. There's work to raise your vibration to the point where you could have access to these frequencies, because they're not for somebody that's eating Kennedy's chicken. And look, there's a Kennedy's chicken around here that's banging. So I'm not knocking anybody eating Kennedy's chicken, but it's not for somebody who's playing games with this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not for somebody who's not diligently following the path and not doing daily things for self-resurrection, self-motivation, and self-determination. Self-determination is one of those things Elijah Muhammad taught. One of those things Malcolm taught. All right? These are our legends. These are our heroes. One of the things the Black Panthers taught and showed. One of the things Nipsey taught and showed. Self-determination. Are we going to use that energy? Because the conspiracy is easy. I ain't got to do shit. Yeah, the government killed them. Now what? Yeah, Illuminati killed him. Okay. They killed him so Lauren London could advance her career. Not to mention Lil Wayne's is Lauren London's first baby daddy, but we ain't gonna talk about that. Because why didn't kill Lil Wayne at the height of his popularity? You can say Lil Wayne's a tool or whatever, he's not as conscious as Nipsey. I get that. I get that. But again, even if you think the government killed him, what are you gonna do with that energy? What are you going to do with the energy of your ancestors? What are you going to do with the energy of these people that pass away in unfortunate circumstances? Because that's what they're doing. These conspiracies and these Illuminati and these people that you're scared of, that's what they're doing. And people are coming on these pages and using all these codes and decoding and saying, okay, this is what happened and you need to be scared. It's usually what happens. XYZ, when you watch these conspiracy videos, it's like XYZ is happening and you need to be scared because XYZ is happening. That's usually how it ends. Fear. Putting you in fight or flight. Do you know if you watch somebody getting shot on your screen right now, on your TV screen, you feel that yourself? You feel like you got shot? It automatically puts you in fight or flight, which lowers your IQ, raises your blood pressure, raises your testosterone. You lose focus because you're prepared to fight a bear. All the blood is rushing to your body instead of your brain. You're prepared to fight a dog. You're prepared to fight somebody. Just from watching somebody getting shot or watching a fight video or watching something bad on the news. This is science. So what are we using the conspiracy for? We should be conspiring because this is our language. This is our culture. This is traditional African shit. Again, look at DC. There's a book by Anthony T. Browder. Anthony T. Browder, and it has a sphinx on the cover of it. I forgot the name of the book. I read this years ago. Anthony T. Browder. It is amazing. It goes into Kemet. It goes into all the technology that was stolen, even down to, if you look at some things in Kemet, they show you energy sources. Like they'll show you statues, with energy sources. Like they were harnessing energy when there was no light poles around here. You understand? That's the real conspiracy. The conspiracy to get yourself better. The conspiracy to move forward in life. The conspiracy to gain an understanding of the world around you and gain awareness. Gain awareness. That's the real conspiracy. And to use your ancestors and to use these different forces and use these different spirits for your own benefit. Because that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. Or during the week if you're watching this. I didn't even expect to shoot this video, but, something was on my spirit after watching that conspiracy video where he was talking about the 3113 conspiracy and never explaining it, and then saying at the end of it is going to be a race war, and then saying, oh, it's Lauren London's because her father's Jewish. I'm like, okay, even if all that's okay, her Jewish father got Nipsey killed. Let's say they're doing it and they're trying to do it so that they could buy the area. But Nipsey's brother, already is part owner. So it's not like they could just take the business from him. If you study Nipsey, you'll see that his brother kind of started a lot of that shit. From the clothing store, from, getting them to start hustling. That's his older brother, Black Sam. Started a lot of that shit. And he just followed the suit of his older brother, who was a hustler. And he had hustler energy in him as well. But again, man, let's not feed the fears. These conspiracy videos, a lot of them are very, very toxic. And a lot of people will do them to get views because people like being scared. Unfortunately, we've been conditioned by the media, by the world, to be in constant states of fear. And as long as we stay in fear, so hydrant, Poppy. As long as we stay in fear, we'll never rise. Again, fear lowers your IQ, raises your blood pressure, it makes you sick, it puts pressures on the heart. As long as you stay in fear, as long as you stay triggered, even this Kodak Black talking about Lauren London is a trigger. It's designed to get you upset. So as long as you stay in the space of being triggered, as long as you stay in the space of being puppeted emotionally, you have to say to yourself, I'm going to be happy no matter what. And I'm going to seek positivity in this world of negativity. I'm going to seek positive energy in this world of negative energy. I'm going to turn my negatives into a positive. I'm going to turn my wrongs in the past into my rights for the future. And I'm going to leave y'all with this. I know I said I was going to stop earlier, but I'm going to leave y'all with this. The world is about now and the future. The world is about right now, the space. Me saying the space, that's the now, but that passed, right? That's already passed, me saying the space. So it's about now and the future. The past is just for you to learn about. And I had to learn that myself. The past is for you to learn about. So you're supposed to learn from your past. You made this mistake in a relationship. You made this mistake at the job. You made this mistake with, I don't know, your house. You made this mistake with buying something. You made this mistake with XYZ. And it's about it's about learning from the past and moving forward. Slavery happened. Again, I'm not discounting slavery. Slavery happened. It's a reality. It's something that we deal with. But we got to learn from slavery so that we never get enslaved again. Because we can't go back and change it. We can't go back and change Jim Crow. We can't go back and change Malcolm's murder. We can't go back and change Huey's murder. We can't. It happened already. So we got to learn from it. We got to learn the mistakes. 1992, there was a gang truce, just like there is now. And there's documents of the CIA coming in and fucking up the gang truce. That's what history's for. So that the leaders can tell, because right now, these leaders that are Bloods and Crips, they should be aware of what happened in 1992 and not allow that shit to happen in their hood. Not allow no new Crips, no new Bloods, no outsiders. And you can say they can pay one of the Crips and one of the Bloods, and that may happen, but at the same time, if that happens, then where is the strength of this black community? That's why I say all black people aren't my people. All skin folk aren't kinfolk. I literally looked at a district attorney in Manhattan try to put me in jail, black lady, try to put me in jail for a train ticket that I had from 1999. You hear me? She tried to put me in jail for that shit. She tried to find any angle she could. Oh, he had an arrest record when he was 16, blah, blah, blah. She tried to find every angle she could to lock me up. Black lady. Black. Darker than me. There's black people out here that want to kill your ass just because you're you. And they don't give a fuck about you. So when I say my people are the people that vibe with me and the people that are in my tribe and the people that understand me. But I'm not here to save all black people. I'm not here to save everybody. I'm here to save myself, and I'm here to save and influence those who understand where I'm going and understand my vision and understand what I'm trying to implement. And I'm just giving y'all what I have gotten and what I have went through. And the struggle is so real. I don't want nobody to struggle for years like I have, figuring it out, watching all these conspiracy videos, reading all these books, being scared, feeling like I had to, all black people were my people and getting let down, managing a call center full of black people and getting let down and getting shitted on by them. I don't want nobody to go through that. I don't want nobody to go through watching, 4 hours of conspiracy videos and it doesn't benefit them at all. It just makes them more scared. I don't want nobody to go through that because I did it. I did it. And these conspiracy theories, the thing about it, you have Skull and Bones, the Knights Templar, you have these different elitist groups, Council of Foreign Relations. You have these different elitist groups that exist. However, they're just right now a fraternity. They're not even about spiritual development anymore. They're not even about personal development. George Bush was a member of the Skull and Bones. Kerry's a member of the Skull and Bones. These people, George Bush, you think he was trying to develop himself spiritually? You know what I'm saying? George Bush Jr., George Bush Sr., you think they were trying to develop themselves spiritually? Hell no. Hell no. It's a fraternity at some point, and it's about people banding together that have one common cause, and the common cause is power. The common cause is control. So what is your common cause? What are you trying to control? So we have to say to ourselves, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What's the objective of life, of your life? What passions are you following? We just had a new moon in Aries. What's your passion? What are you working on? What are you driving? What is your marathon? Because that's what matters. Everything else, honestly, everything else, your purpose is the main thing that matters in life. Of course, you need food, clothing, shelter, and all that. But if you're following your purpose, you're going to get that. Trust me. Once I started living my purpose, I keep telling y'all, man, scratch offs, you can look at the videos. I'm hitting more than ever. You know, manifested this vehicle. Where I live, manifested it. About to manifest someplace better because I need someplace bigger. You know, just manifesting different things. Manifesting checks out of nowhere. Live your purpose, man. And the conspiracy doesn't matter. What's your conspiracy? What are you conspiring to do? Peace, power, prosperity. Rob Blackstone, I'm out. Please like, subscribe, share. Like, subscribe, share. I appreciate y'all, you know, rocking with me. I appreciate y'all following me. I'm just a dude from the Bronx, New York, you know. I'm just giving up some game that I got from my years of experience. And I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. And again, like I always say, if you got something, you know, if you're not having a wonderful day, then I hope you're working on making it better. Because life's about progression. Again, peace, power, prosperity.